Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is Eddie Marcus again, and this is the 1st of September. Quite early in the morning. It's still dark outside, but I find it is a moment that I can share with you my thoughts. How many of you remember the time not too very long ago when the President of the United States could visit a town, a city, or state, and the people would be excited about it if they could possibly get into an area where they can get a glimpse of it? They would record this and remember it. How when I saw, and this was Barack Obama. How many of you, maybe quite a few years ago, would remember when John F. Kennedy, the president, would come into a city or town? It looked like the whole city would turn out. Go to another country, the whole country would turn out. They just wanted to see these magnificent leaders that came from such a magnificent country. Ooh, if we could just be like that country. Because, see, they bought into what we had bought into as well. Well, those days are far, far behind us. Now we got a president, when he wants to go into a city or town, they ask him to please stay away because there's turmoil that follows you where you go. Dissent, hatred and racism and bigotry and anger and stuff just rise up wherever you at. Isn't that something? Isn't that something? Well, ladies and gentlemen, something it might be, and it is what it is. The question is, what are we going to do about it? You see, we have to make some major moves, ladies and gentlemen. Coronavirus comes around, and it makes you do things that you are not used to doing. You're used to going out, hanging in the ballparks, hanging in the bars, hanging anywhere you want to hang, just hanging. Now you have to hang where they say it's okay to hang. And even when you hang, they request and require that you hang at a certain distance, even when you're amongst yourselves. And you never thought you'd be doing anything like this, but you're doing it. School start. Teachers say, oh no, we're not going to let you put us in that death trap. Kids want to go to school because this is what they know. Now staying at home, my God, can you do this to kids? And everybody's saying, well, I got to go to work. We got to do something about these kids. But you're making some adjustments, huh? Things you haven't done before. Well, this is the same thing that you got to do when it comes down to this second-class citizen stuff and this injustices that have been perpetrated upon the people of this nation ever since they've been here. Some people got, some people don't. Some will and some won't. Yeah, that's something that's just as dangerous, much more dangerous than the coronavirus. It is the thing that is dangerous now. And if you can shut down the schools and shut down the churches and shut down everything to stop this virus, you can shut down, or you don't have to shut down. It's why you are shut down from these other things. You deal with this main thing, and that is to eradicate the injustices of this nation. That means going back in time. What I basically mean by that is that the people who are hurting the most are the people who require the immediate attention. People who are hurting the most require the immediate attention. They are people who don't have a job. They require immediate attention. People who don't have housing require immediate attention. People who don't have access to education require immediate attention. People who have been denied or don't have access to health care but need it have it immediately. And at the same time, while you're doing this, make sure that the schools are set up to receive an influx when this virus settles this stuff down, or because we will conquer it. Why? Because we are changing. Our personalities are changing. Our minds are changing. Our hearts and our spirits are changing. So the cure can't run from us. So we will cure that. But we want to make sure that our institutions are established to receive an influx of people who are coming to really learn, not just coming to school because the system say you got to go to school. No, they're going to school because they got to learn something, because now they know that the gifts and skills that are required for them to be able to do the things that they want to do are being made available to them. So they don't have to worry about that now. So they're excited about learning. And the facilities must be geared to accommodate everybody all across the nation. Same thing about our health facilities. We have to make sure that we get the best people out there, working with other nations' best people to come up with cures for certain sicknesses and diseases for people all over the earth, to fight against sicknesses, to fight against cancer, to fight against MS and ALS and all of these things. Fight against them. They be things of the past. And let's dream. Not about building armaments in space to fight off some aliens, but welcoming sinners. If you want to come down here, you're welcome. Stop in, check in, come on down. Let's celebrate. Come on, ladies and gentlemen. This has got to be better than what we're going through every day. Now I realize, and I have to admit to you, the way we are acting is sickening. But the Heavenly Father, the God that is our Father, understands why we are like we are. And it is upsetting, but it is not as upsetting to God as it should be to us. See, God understands why we are controlled, why we act out attitudes of racism and hatred and bigotry. God understands that. God understands that when we came onto this earth, this is what we've been taught. Even when they try to tell you that these things are wrong, they do them in the midst, and you see it. You see it at every level. And while you might personally condemn certain things, you see the effects that it still has. And only the lowlifes, the ones who get caught doing these kinds of things, are the ones that are punished. They're the ones that go to have money taken from them, have fines. They're the ones that go to jail. They're the ones that go to prison. And in fact, the truth of the matter is that they are persuaded to commit the things that they have done because the system refuses to fix these cancers, to fix these traps. Now, why does the system fail to do that? Because the people are familiar with them. They accept them as being normal, something they don't like, but normal. And how do you fix it? You got your politicians promising stuff, but they never fix it. And you keep on going down this road because you keep hoping that someone fixes, but it never gets fixed. So the generations come and the generations go, and these things never get fixed because we always put in the responsibility on someone else other than ourselves. Why do you think I'm here talking right now? I'm talking, I'm trying to persuade you to get up and do something, when in fact, I should get up and do more than talking. If I get up and start walking my talking, then my talking would create more walking. You hear that, Eddie? So get up and start doing more walking. And I'm saying this to each and every last one of us. President wants to go to Milwaukee, where cops shot a young man, black, in the back 7 times. When another youth from another state come to this state with an armed weapon, saying that he's coming to protect something, and gets out there in the middle of something, and all of a sudden ends up killing 2 people and injuring another, and walking around free like he is special, privileged. And when he is apprehended for what he has done, then you find the president of the United States trying to defend him, talking about his life was threatened. His life wasn't threatened. He was at home. He was at home. These young men that died because of him weren't looking for him. They were out standing up for a cause. And he was out trying to kill somebody. That's why they came down there with that gun. The reason he had that gun was for one thing, to kill somebody. And he killed a couple of somebodies. Now they want to excuse it. But the guy that was shot in the back 7 times by a policeman, they would try to justify that. Or they're doing everything they possibly can to justify it. But see, ladies and gentlemen, they can do these things because there are not enough people out there listening to people like me. I'm not the only one. It seems like it, but that's just because nobody's paying us any attention. But we're out here, and we're telling you that it is time that the system right now, in the middle of this election, this is the time when everybody's focusing on change. This is the time when people are focusing on what will our future look like. Are we going to keep on going down this hellish road with this demon president? Or are we going to slow it up a little bit? We wouldn't grab a Democrat because they're not taking us to hell so fast. Or are we going to make up our minds if we're going to decide for ourselves that we are going to change? And we don't have to be ashamed because we're going to change for the best. We're not changing just because I'm black or I'm a male or I am an American. No. We're changing because it's the right thing to do. So it doesn't matter what color you are, what gender you are, how big or small you are, what nationality you are while in this country. You're going to be treated righteous. And what is righteous? Righteous means that your dreams come true, that when you're living in the United States of America, you're supposed to be living as though you are in heaven. Not somebody called privileged alone. No, everyone is supposed to be living privileged. God's children. And the only reason that they don't is because evil is choking the life out of them. And who is permitting evil to choke the life out of them? The American public. We, the American people, are allowing this. Trump is like the godfather that we, the people, called in to kill us. And he's doing a good job. We, the American people, called him in. You say, oh, no, I didn't. Oh, yes, you did. You say, how did I do that? You didn't do the kinds of things that was necessary to prevent him from coming in. What? Straighten up your act. You didn't do that. So here we are. So this purpose of this morning conversation or this presentation that I'm making to you is for that simple reason. We got to take responsibility. Now, again, God ain't that mad at you because you don't know any better. Boy, wee, you are hard-headed though. I mean, you have to go through some stuff to change. Some of the stuff like it ought to just be simple. But I guess it's not. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you for listening to me. Maybe I said something that will do something. In the meantime, until next time, Eddie Marcus say goodbye.